Hello there. I am not tech savvy, so I hope this works okay. I'm jumping on and making a video about a thing that has really changed my life in not like a dramatic, crazy way, but really giving me my life back. It was, let's see, just some background. My husband and I, we live in a small house with our 4 children in Kaneohe, Hawaii. It's a 600 square foot house with 4 children. You can imagine that it's been crazy, but we've been in construction over this last year, and that has caused lots of joy, but lots of stress and chaos. I'm also homeschooling my children, all 4 of them last year. This year I'm only doing 2. Next year I'll probably be doing 3 of them, but on top of all that, it tailspun me into this crazy, like, I don't know how to explain it, except that every week, at least once a week, if not twice a week, I was struggling with being happy with my life, being calm around the children. I felt like I was constantly on the edge of, is this going to set me off into a tailspin of yelling at my children, snapping at them, being frustrated with my life? I don't know how many times I cried to my husband, like, what are we doing? Why are we living like this? And it's not like before struggles we've had, like financial struggles, where we're just barely making it. This was more of like just an internal battle, and I couldn't get a hold of it. You know, I'm a believer. I would pray, I would cry out to the Lord, I would worship, I'd have my quiet moments in the morning, and it would obviously be huge. But there was this underlying thing that constantly was right under the surface that I thought, is this my tipping point? Is this gonna set me over the edge where I'm gonna lose my sanity? And somehow I knew that it was something that had to do with my body chemistry. I didn't know what. I'd had tests done. Nothing was majorly off with my body, but I couldn't, I knew something. It wasn't like a spiritual battle. It wasn't my flesh all the time. There was just something off. And I had tried supplements, just Googling online and buying them at the health food store. I've always been really aware of how I exercise and what I eat. And I've been doing intermittent fasting, which has helped me maintain my body weight pretty well. So I don't have a huge weight issue, and I'm really active. I'm a swimmer. I love to be outdoors. I love people. I'm very, I'm just a well-rounded, enthusiastic about life person. So to have this constant issue was just really wearing at me. And my friend Julie Walden, who I have known now since 2008, we actually did Arbonne together, and then she told me about this thing called Kangen water, which has been, it's a water machine from Japan that we just cannot live without. But she had started posting a couple things about, I don't even remember, except that I remember thinking, I thought I saw something about Happy Coffee, and I was like, Happy Coffee? Okay, I don't even know why I jumped on YouTube and looked it up. But I did. It was one of those things where I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't know. And I jumped on there, and I looked up a bunch of videos about this Happy Coffee, and I found these testimonies. And several of them talked about how they had battled, women and men had battled like borderline depression, struggling with just emotions, being really up and down. People were having benefits like losing weight, but that didn't really attract me. It was the people who commented about how they just seemed like steady eddies. And I was like, I used to be like that. I used to be consistently pretty even keeled, and I am really tired of just battling internally all the time. So I reached out to her and I said, Julie is on Facebook. I messaged her. I said, is this Happy Coffee? Is this what you're talking about that's been, changing your life? And she wrote back and she said yes. And she kind of just told me a little spiel about her, and she has a great story that if you ever want to hear, I can connect you. But and I knew her background too, about her different issues with her family and stuff. And I thought, you know what? And she offered. She said, I'll send you to try it. So she ended up sending this to me, which now knowing that she sent this to me, I was like, I mean, I get choked up about it, because she took a risk. She took a risk that I would commit to this 6-day pack of dose, which is, dose basically stands for dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. And it's a happy coffee, and then it has a happy pill in it, which I can show you here. But she sent this to me, and I was going to share it with my husband. So it comes with 6. Let's see if I can open it. Oh, no, I don't think I can open it. Anyways, you can kind of see. So it's I call it the happy pill and the happy coffee. And there's also a chocolate version if you don't really like caffeine and you're a chocolate lover. Which I actually have been giving us a little bit to my kids to help them focus in school. And it seems to be very effective. It's been great. It just seems, anyways, I'll go into that later. But, so what's, where was I? Oh, so she said, so I actually opened it up and tried my first dose on my birthday, January 5th, 2019. And it was my birthday, so, you know, it's usually a happy day anyways. But I took the dose in the morning. I went to Lani Kai and hiked the pillboxes by myself to watch the sunrise. I don't know how, like, the first thing I noticed when I took it is I felt like my brain was warm, which sounds super odd. I don't really know how to explain it, but my brain felt warm. And I was like, oh, no, okay, something's going on. And then I just felt so alive and alert and focused. The brain fog where you're like, oh, what was I in this room for? Or, you know, why did I do, you know, I could just think really quickly. Like thoughts would come, and it was just like the light bulbs were on, like fully on. There was no fuzziness. There was no like blanket over the light bulb. Like it was just bright and on. And I just went up on my hike. It was so fun and enjoyable. I came home. My husband had to work that day for part of the day. And so I came home, and I actually had heard about Marie Kondo, which is this little Japanese lady that does this organizing. They call it, you know, I don't remember, but you hold on to something and you say, does this bring me joy? And then you can get rid of it if it doesn't bring you joy. Well, she shows you ways to fold things that are space saving and all that stuff. So I ended up like Marie Kondoing my whole house while Justin was gone. Like I went through my closets, I went through my drawers. He came home and he's like, whoa, the house looks amazing. And I'm really neat and organized already, but it was like perfectly beautiful. And I don't know, I just had this like, and I hadn't even eaten anything yet. Now he got home around 12:30 that day, and I was starting to get a little hungry, but not like ravenous like I normally am. Because I do intermittent fasting, so it's normal for me not to eat till noon. But normally by noon, I'm like, okay, I need to eat. And I just was like, well, I can eat, you know. And Justin said, let's go to your Thai food place and let's go eat there. And we did with the kids, because we were actually going to go kayaking to Chinaman's Hat. This was my second thing I wanted to do that day with my kids and Justin, is kayak to Chinaman's Hat and have a little fun adventure there. That's what I like to do. That's my love language. Let's go on an adventure. Here we go. So so anyway, so we were eating Thai food, and we got what we normally order, and I was halfway through my meal, and I was so full. And I was like, I guess we're gonna have to save it. So we normally eat everything. And this time we actually had a bunch of leftovers. Both Justin he had taken the dose too. And we both felt the same way. And he was the other thing I noticed about my husband, which I didn't realize was the side benefit to the coffee, he was so complimentary to me. He kept saying how much he loved me. He was so sweet. He just like, which is my love language, words of affirmation. So I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm like, this is the best day ever. And I didn't know this was the coffee. All of this stuff going on right now, I had no idea. Like I was just thinking this is, because I just felt like me. I didn't feel stimulated. I didn't feel buzzed. I didn't feel any of that. And so I was like, wow, this is, anyways. So, and both Justin and I were like really skeptical about this coffee in the first place. We were thinking like, is this really going to be something that's, I don't know, how real can this be? Even though we're pretty open people about products, and we've tried a lot of different things in our lives. So we go kayaking, with the kids. It was just like so fun. We explored the whole island. We hiked up to the top of Chinaman's Hat and back down and around the whole thing. Probably like a 3-hour adventure. And the whole time we were like still feeling super full from our meal. Not like gross full, but just satisfied and full. And I wasn't craving anything. We we ended up getting done with that around like, I don't know, 4:30, 5 o'clock, something like that. We drove home and the kids were hungry, but Justin and I were like, I am not even hungry. So we actually did something kind of goofy that we're not big sugar eaters or ice cream eaters or anything. I mean, if anything, we'll eat chocolate, but we got home and the kids were like, well, what do you want to do for your birthday? And I don't really like cake. And for some reason, like, well, let's just do ice cream sundaes. And Justin and I were still so full from our lunch. We just decided to have ice cream sundaes for dinner. And the kids were absolutely fans of that. It was kind of a fun day. But anyways, yeah, and I didn't really know if it was the coffee. So the only thing that I noticed negative about the coffee was the second day I had a headache. I woke up and I just, but I knew because of the different things I've done with my health and different things that usually it's probably a detox. But I called my friend Julie. I was like, hey, I'm having this really bad headache. I don't know. Is it the coffee? Like, it made me a little nervous. And she goes, it's the Xanthomax, which is the pill you take, which I can tell you more about what's in it all, but it's a high antioxidant, like very high antioxidant, which is what my Kangen water is. And that's the same effect that I had when I started drinking Kangen waters. Your body just gets rid of junk. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. She said, just drink lots of water. And so I did. And the headache went away within like a couple hours. And it was just a detox headache. It wasn't one of those like throbbing, like migraines or something. So anyway, so I took dose for 4 days. My husband only took dose 2 days, so I stole some of his. But because after 2 days, he was like, I don't really notice anything. You can have mine. And he had just started this, he has some stomach issues, and he had just started taking these supplements for his stomach. So he just thought maybe I should just not take anything else while I'm trying to get my probiotics and my digestive stuff figured out. So again, I kept having like endless energy. I was cleaning my house. I was getting things done. Like, I just couldn't believe it. However, I was not, because I felt like me. I felt so like my true self. It's hard to explain, but I just felt like who I always have been without all the chaos swarming inside of me. And so I didn't think it's the coffee. So I stopped taking my dose, and I hadn't really reached out to Julie because I was like, I guess that didn't really do anything for me. The first day after not having dose, I felt fine. I felt like I had been. The next day after that, 2 days after not having dose, I started getting snappy with the kids like I usually was. I was like, gosh, I hate my life. Why are we living like this? Like, I just had this, and I just want to lay on the couch. Like, that's another thing, is I've never been a person to just like lay on the couch for a whole day. But I would have at least once a month where I would just couldn't get up, and I would nap, and I just felt like I couldn't function. I'm 30, I just turned 38. So part of that maybe is the aging process, but it sucks. Like, I hated it. I am such a go-getter that laying on the couch and not feeling like I can get up and do anything is just awful. So I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot go back to that version of me. I cannot go back. I called Julie and I said, Julie, I am so thankful that you told me about this coffee. Here's what it's been doing for me. She was like, yep, that's pretty normal. The first thing people do is clean their house. They have tons of energy. They like, this is everything that you experience is something that because it's your like your brain's coming alive again. It's like your body is giving yourself what you've always needed because of these supplements. This thing is not giving you the hormones. It's giving you the nutrients your body needs to activate your own body's response to producing these hormones. And so, I said, I need to get on this stuff. I can't go without it. I have to have this in my life. So I told her, I'm like, I am signing up. I just went for it. I signed up for the $99 annual fee or whatever, and it gives you 20% off of all your products. If you do have anyone want to buy products, they can buy it from you and you get a little kickback, but this isn't a typical network marketing thing that I've been in before. It's very different. So that's another reason why I thought, because I'm like, Julie, I am not doing network marketing again. I have failed twice at it. I don't like selling anything. It's not my thing. She's like, I know. I was the same. She told me I'm the same way. I've told my husband I am not going to do this. But when you feel so good and you see these amazing benefits, you just have to tell people about it, right? I've told my mom, I told my my in-laws, I've told my friends, I'm shouting it on Facebook. I have to tell people about it because it's just given me my life back. I don't know how to explain it. And it's not like this major boom, you know, like it's fine if I don't have it, you know, for a couple days or whatever, but it's so easy. You just add it to your coffee. It's not like I'm doing anything out of the ordinary. I'm not doing any radical changes. I'm not having to follow a certain diet. You just add the little packet or the little scoop into your coffee, and you swallow your pill and you go on with your day. And I can go on and on and on about the benefits that I have had with it. I'm starting to lose weight. I just went on a 10-day vacation. I came back smaller than I was when I left, which is not normal on vacation. Normally on vacation, I at least gain 5 to 10 pounds. And I've just noticed like, I don't know, you just have to try it. You just have to try it for yourself and see what it will do for you. I'm just so happy that I'm not fighting that anxiety and that stress and the kids are still kids and they're still doing chaotic, stupid things, but I'm not snapping like I was. It's like, okay, let's just move through this issue we're having. And, I don't know, and I'm sleeping better. Oh my gosh, that's another thing. So it's not like I'm a bad sleeper, but my head hits the pillow and I'm asleep. Normally it takes me like 35 to 40 minutes to fall asleep. I am out. I am sleeping so sound. The only thing that wakes me up sometimes is I'll have some dreams, which I'm kind of a prophetic person and I have God dreams. So I'll wake up and I'll remember the dreams. But other than that, I'm just sleeping so good. Oh, because I'm a really light sleeper and I wake up all the time. And that's really frustrating, especially in Hawaii when there's roosters and kids and I don't know. So that's been a benefit. But yeah, just more energy, clarity of mind, motivation. Like I just want to get stuff done. I don't want to sit down and do nothing. And it's not like this, oh my gosh, what's that movie? There's Something About Mary, you know, the scene where the old lady's like vacuuming and she's like all high on this drug or whatever. It's not like that. It's just like, I just want to get stuff done. I don't delay it and procrastinate. And my husband's taking it now too. So he actually realized the benefit of it too. And he's just feeling, it just gives him more focus, I think, and motivation, but also he's just so sweet. And not that he's not sweet. He's a really sweet, very patient man, way beyond me. He is the salt of the earth. But he just is, I don't know. He just has this really, he actually talks more. I guess that's how I could say it. He expresses himself more through his words than he used to, which for me is just really amazing and just very helpful. But I think it's also helped his digestion, and I'm not sure if that's a side benefit of it, but he hasn't had as much acid reflux going on. And again, he's doing probiotics, but he was still having acid reflux, not as much, but he was still having it, and he hasn't had any issues with his acid reflux. And then also, the other thing I was going to mention was that I noticed, I'm a semi-athletic, I guess. I may be more active than some people, but I went swimming yesterday for the first time since I've been on the dose. And you know that when you haven't been working out as much and then you work out and your muscles are really sore and you're achy while you're doing it? I didn't feel that. It wasn't like I was numb, but I just didn't feel that, oh my gosh, I cannot swim another lap because I'm too tired or my muscles are too sore. It just felt like, yes, I am swimming. This feels great. So I don't know if anyone has had experience on dose. I don't know enough about it to even know if that is like, this is helping people's athleticism, but man, I just felt like, yes, my gosh, I feel amazing. Like I could swim for an hour and not even care. And that's great because sometimes working out is a like it's just drudgery before. And I didn't feel like I needed a nap afterwards. Usually I'll swim, I'll work out really hard, I'll go home, I'll get some stuff done, and then I sit down and I'm like, okay, now I need a nap. And I didn't have any of that. I just went on with my day. I got so much done. I had a bunch of laundry to wash because we just got back from vacation. I had to straighten up and clean up. I had to make dinner, which is another thing. I got dinner made. Although I did have problems with like not really wanting to eat dinner. I was like, I need to make dinner, but I'm not really hungry and I don't really know what I want to make. So I actually had to look through some recipes and look at, oh, that looks good. I had to feed my family. But I've noticed I don't have any cravings for sweets, no cravings for anything salty. I just really just eat when I need to eat. And I make good choices. Like when I open my fridge, I'm like, oh, I want an apple. Maybe some salad. Like usually I'm like, where's the cream cheese and the crackers and let me have some chocolate. I don't have any of that. And I've heard more people say that too about when they experience the dose. But anyways, I hope this is helpful. It's kind of a long video, but I just felt like I should get my testimony out there, and maybe I'll do another video explaining more about what it is. But there's so much information on the internet. Just go look it up. YouTube, there's plenty of people that actually know more about it than I do. I just know personally how I feel, and I just have to have it. I just have to have it, and I have to share it with people because it's just it's transforming lives, and it's pretty new. I not the technology, not the science behind it all, but I think it's just getting out there. It's starting to just get out there. And I'm so thankful. I just really feel like this was God's intervention on my life. I had been praying for a year, please God, fix my body, send me someone that can help me feel like myself again. And who would have thought it was coffee? Happy coffee. Who would have thought? It's absolutely amazing. So if you want to know more about Dose, just give me a shout out, instant message me, call me, email me, whatever you want to do to get in touch with me. I would love to share more about this incredible product, and it's not super expensive either. It's very affordable, because that's my whole thing. I'm like, okay, if this is so awesome, I also want it to be affordable, and it's very affordable, which is not something that I'm used to. Usually things are like major marked up and high cost, and this is like $1.36 a cup of coffee or something. And hey, that's way cheaper than Starbucks, right? And I have had a pretty good Starbucks problem. I love to go get my Starbucks. It made me happy. But now I don't need my Starbucks because I have my real happy coffee. Anyways, I hope this was helpful, and I would love to talk to you more about it. Aloha, and look forward to telling you about more about Dose. See ya.